Good morning, everybody. Welcome to My Creative Time with Emma, and also welcome to another Gypsy how-to video, number 4 actually. Today we're going to be working on, I believe, 7 different features. Let's go ahead and check it out. So let's go to our menu. Again, this is our menu button. We're going to go ahead and click on that little silver button, and we're going to click on Help. Now this is the best way to go look back if you're not sure of something. So the features we're going to be working with is ungroup, delete, undo, relative/true size. We're going to work on the cut feature, the move arrows, and the size buttons. I think that's all we'll be able to cover today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to be working with the group feature right now. So let's go ahead and get let's get a couple of, actually let's go ahead and get this ice cream here from Birthday Bash. I'm going to go ahead and set my height to 4 inches so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there goes one item, and I'm going to move my cursor over to the right, and I'm going to go ahead, let's get another ice cream. Actually, you know what, I think that's a cupcake. Let's get a cupcake, and let's also make that bigger to 4 inches just so you could see it. Okay. So what I did was I went ahead and put 2 items on my page separately. Okay, now if I want to group them together, I could go ahead and do this right here. You see this little square first button? I'm going to click on that. Now a couple of people, I've seen people do it a little different. This is the way I do it. I just make sure one of the items highlighted that I want to group together. So after I click on that, I click on the next item until they all turn blue, and then this I know that they are grouped together. So I could go ahead and just click off that. Okay, so if I click on that again, and if I try and move it, then it is grouped together, so I know I grouped them together. And I use this a lot when I try and weld cards and everything, but we'll get to that feature another day. So anyways, that's grouping. Okay, now let's go ahead and, if you want to ungroup, this is the ungroup button right there. You click on that, okay? Now I've seen people do it where they don't highlight anything. They just go ahead and they click on the group button, and then they highlight the items they want grouped. Okay, so I've seen it done that way also. So why don't we go ahead, I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to show you, if you put like 3 items on the page, okay, if you click them all 3 at once, and you put them on your mat here, I should say. You see how there's 3 right there? Well, since you put them all, you typed them all in the cursor at one time, they're automatically grouped together. Because I remember I was like, oh my god, why are they all moving at once? And that's when I discovered the ungroup button. Okay? So pretty much that's how that part works right there. Alright? Okay, now we are going to do the delete button. Okay, I've had a question where somebody had their whole page full, and they says, God, how can I do it without deleting just one item at a time? This is where you want to use your group feature again, okay? So you click on your group, and you click on everything till it turns blue, and then the delete feature is this little X. And then you could go ahead and X it all out, okay? So that's how you delete your item. Now the next one, the next thing we're going to be working with is your relative size and true size button, which is right there. Okay, so this will be a good example. Let's see if this has layers. Let's do the layers again for the ice cream. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get the ice cream, and let's get the layer 1 for it. Let's find it. Get that right there. Okay, so now let me make it bigger once again so you could see it. Let's go ahead and get it to 4 inches again. Okay, you see how when it's just a little, so I should say lowercase a, that means it's called the relative size. So which means that if you go ahead and take this and you layer it on top, it'll layer perfectly. Let me zoom in so you can see that. Okay, so you see how I did it right here. I went ahead and I took this and I moved it over, scooched it right there, and that layered perfectly on top, okay? Now, if I had the true size on, let's go ahead and delete this out. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go here again. I'm going to put it to true size. Now, I don't know why I thought the A was going to turn into capital, but it didn't. The A just got bigger, okay? So meaning that it's touching the top and the bottom line, okay? That's your true size, which means the same thing as where it says on your Cricut, the real dial size. So now we're going to go ahead, let me put my cursor over here to 4 inches so you can see that ice cream again. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get the ice cream once again, and then I'm going to get the layer 1 and get the ice cream, the little layer that goes with it, okay? Okay, you see how now, since the real dial size was turned on, everything is going to cut at 4 inches tall, okay? That's why whenever, very, very important, whenever you're working with layers, always make sure that your real dial size is turned off, okay? That's just an example of what that feature will look like. And also keep in mind, saying for example, remember that feature I showed you, the little XY feature, which is this right here, and you could go ahead and fix it where you want it to a specific spot on your mat. If you change from relative size to true size, it's not going to be accurate anymore. So if you try and put it on your paper and you do the real dial size by accident, it's not going to print where you want it, cut, I should say, where you want it to cut out. Okay, so that's the relative and the true dial size explanations. Go ahead and delete that. Okay, now we are going to do the cut feature. What I did was I went ahead and I just got a turtle from Create a Critter cartridge, which you could see right here. Let me take off the layer. You see right there, I went ahead and got a turtle, and I did the first layer and the second layer. Went ahead and put it on my mat. And what I want to do, since I typed them all up on that little screen all at once, I need to ungroup them so I can move them around on my mat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position my paper on the mat for you so you could see. I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out. So this one, they are sized at 2 inches. This is going to be in black. This next one's going to be in a light green. And we're going to go ahead and make the shell dark green. So I'm going to show you how I position that in on my mat right now to get cut out in the Cricut. Okay, you see how it is on the mat here, but the proper way that the mat goes in the Cricut is this way. So let me go ahead and zoom out for you. We're going to go ahead and get the paper on the mat to make it match it perfectly. So we are going to put, we're going to put the black one down first, which is going to go up here on the right hand corner. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put the dark green piece, which is going to be the shell, right here. You see how I'm lining it up, where you see how it has like that cross there, how I'm lining up against the line right there. That's how I'm doing that. And then we're going to go ahead and put the light piece of green right here up against this line, okay? Okay, now that we have it all positioned on the paper perfectly, you could see how it's lined up right there. So let's just go ahead and cut it out real quick so you could see. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug my Gypsy into my Cricut. And I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and click on Cut. And I'm going to click on Load Paper. Now since I'm using all thick cardstock, I'm going to go ahead and just set my little cutting feature to cut out 2 times. And then click on the Cut button again. And all of our blade and depth pressure is perfect. So I'm going to click on OK, and it's going to start cutting out for you. Okay, so it's done cutting. We're going to go ahead and unload our mat. And I just want to show you how it looks perfectly just like your page on your Gypsy. Okay, there goes your Cricut mat right there. Let me lift it up so you can see. See the little the shell, the black portion, the black layer, then the light green layer. And that is exactly how we have it on our Gypsy. See, matches perfectly. Okay, so that's the cutting feature, because I had many requests on how to position it on the paper. That's how I do it. Okay. Okay, now we are going to work with these little arrow buttons here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty much what this does, it just moves your image around. I went ahead and left that cute turtle on there. So if you move it down, it'll move it down for you, for if you want to move it to the left or to the right. Now sometimes, not all the time, sometimes if I hit the right, if there's too many things, if I have too many items on the page, when I hit the right button, sometimes it goes up. So don't freak out, because it's just because you have a lot going on. It happens to me a lot because I always have a lot of stuff going on with my Gypsy. So that's pretty much how you move it. Or you could just go ahead and just put your stylus on and just move it wherever you want. That's just another way of showing. If you want to just move it just a little bit, you can do so. Okay, so that's that feature. Now just let you know, just so you'll know, if nothing is highlighted, if your little turtle is not highlighted, it's not going to move. Like, see, for example, see how I'm moving my cursor because it's not highlighted, but if I highlight it, oops, he will move. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and answer one quick question, because I noticed my little time screen ran out. If you want to adjust the time on your screen, go ahead and click on your menu button, which is the silver one, the silver circle. And what you're going to do is exit program. And then if you want to change, we don't want to save that, what we just did. You want to go back into your settings button, okay? And I did mention this on the very first video, that you could go ahead and, remember I showed you how to set the date and time, which mine was already set, so I don't have to worry about the calibrate screen. And then these are your, like, the screen brightness. You could go ahead and adjust. You could adjust the screensaver timeout. I had mine at 30 seconds, but I went ahead and I moved it to 1 minute. Okay, and that's your screensaver timeout, and that's just using the battery. Okay, now if you have it plugged in, you could go ahead and move, like mine set for 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and change it to 5 minutes because I don't need it on that long. So that's how you can adjust the screen, because you know how, I'm just going to exit out of there, how a lot of times when I'm working on something, I'm constantly hitting the little screen for it to come back. It's because I had it originally set to this timeout saver for 30 seconds. Okay, so I hope that, I know these aren't like, how should I say it, advanced videos for you owners who already know your Gypsy as well as I do, but this is to help all of you to refresh your mind also, and for the ones who just received your new Gypsy. So I really hope this is helping you. I hope you have a great day, and I will definitely get another one out this week for sure, okay? Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.